apparently it's going to be good weather for getting one's kit off, Thomas Schaffenacker. Not that I'm suggesting that that's going to be happening anywhere near the BBC newsroom.
Oh my dear, how do I follow from that? I tell you what, it is going to turn very warm over the next few days. It's actually going to turn really humid as well. The nights are going to be pretty steamy, but with that also a risk of storms. And you know what, we do need the rainfall. It has been incredibly dry over the last 2 weeks or more. In fact, central parts of England, last time it rained was 11th of May, and even in parts of southern Wales longer than that. Glorious sunshine, particularly in western areas, all thanks to high pressure, which has been stopping the weather fronts, preventing them from reaching the UK. But things are going to be shifting. It's out towards the west. It's been absolutely glorious with temperatures in the low 20s, even the mid 20s recently. Pollen levels worth mentioning. I'm certainly feeling it. Very high across many parts of England and Wales. High further north too. Not so bad across Scotland.
And now it seems that summer has finally landed. Sally is at Wisley Reservoir for us tonight. And Sally, just as things start to warm up, London gets its first heat alert of the summer.
I know we seem to go from one extreme to another, don't we? That is the nod to the fact that it could get to 30 degrees this weekend in London, possibly. And we've had a very dry May, so what a perfect time to introduce you to Wisley's giant water butt. This is the size of 43,000 garden water butts. And if we just carefully creep down here, I don't want to fall in. Don't say you would like me to. Put my hand in. Oh, I can tell you it is warm after the cold weather we've had. It's absolutely gorgeous. And look what's living in it. We've got some beautiful pictures here of these cute little moorhens with their little babies, with their little bald heads. They're just gorgeous. And we found 4 of them. Now listen, when I was here last year, this ground was brown. We've had extreme heat. We had below average rainfall, hosepipe bans. It was a bit of a nightmare, quite frankly. And so they've built this reservoir to help them. And I'm joined by Peter, who is the garden manager here. Peter, thank you so much for having us. You must be thrilled with it.
Yeah, we're so happy with how it's turned out. It's looking so good at the moment.
And just to reassure people, the water doesn't come from a river, does it? It comes from where exactly?
Oh no, so we collect all the water as rainwater from the building we've got just behind us, our largest science building that we've built.
And that all flows into here?
Yeah, we collect about 7,500 cubic metres of water.
And just rainfall has filled that up from your roof. That's amazing. How much rain anxiety do you get here at Wisley?
We get as much as all the gardeners in the country do, and because we've had quite a dark, dry couple of weeks, we're starting to feel a little bit anxious and seeing some of the plants start to look a little bit stressed.
Oh, really?
But it's not quite as bad as it was last year yet.
Because I already get rain anxiety. It's quite a stressful time. But you've already started to take water out of here. We've got some lovely pictures of the garden that it's watering. Tell us where it goes.
So yeah, we created this lake so that we could look at our water security and help protect our plants on Battleston Hill. We've got a really old ericaceous woodland that we're trying to keep going.
And just to reassure people that as this gets used, you're not going to completely empty it, are you?
No, no. We're going to let it go down to about 50, 60 centimetres, and that'll leave enough water for all the wildlife, which has already started to colonise the area.
Well, we've seen the beautiful moorhens. Listen, Peter, thank you so much. Good luck with your rainfall this summer, whichever way you want it to go. Now, yesterday, I was wearing a coat, hat and scarf in the studio, and look at me now. Living the high life. Here's the weather. Well, that sunshine is strong, feel the burn, but we've got another lovely day for you tomorrow, fine and dry, still some lingering cloud, particularly in the morning and in a few spots such as the coast, but when that sun comes out, it's lovely and warm. Now, that pollen is a bit of a nightmare, quite frankly. Very high levels over the next few days with the early June peak and, of course, the fine weather. We've got grass pollen and nettle pollen now as well. But from me, the giant water butt and everything in it, I'll see you later. Cheerio.
And it's going to be really, really warm this weekend, isn't it? There's the first weather warning of the year we've got.
Yeah, that's right. A heat
one
issued for the first time, yellow level. So yes, we are going to see the weather warming up. I think my orange and yellow hues rather give it away, don't they? So yeah, we've had temperatures only up to 25 degrees so far this year, but actually we could see temperatures as high as about 29 degrees as we head through the course of the weekend as well. So will it be a heat wave? Well, we need 3 consecutive days of temperatures between 25 to 28 degrees or above, depending on where you live. So I think touch or go depending on whether we'll actually see an official heat wave, but we will certainly see some hotter and some more humid weather than we've seen of late. So the weather's been really static recently, but heading through the end of the week, the heat, the humidity build, and for some of us, that's going to bring some heavy and potentially thundery showers, and some places really could do with that rainfall. Temperatures starting to warm up for us on Friday, and then as we head through the weekend and into next week, look at these temperatures well above average, but also some showers on the way. Sophie.
And news today of a heat health alert being issued for parts of our region.
Yes, that's right. Nothing too extreme, just an indication that this weekend we're expecting our first summer warmth with temperatures in the mid-20s. Now, for some of us, good news, I think, if you've been across parts of the east, stuck underneath the cloud with the strong winds. Temperatures today have just been around about 14 to 15 degrees. But for most of us, after a rather cloudy start, it did brighten up. And in the sunshine, today we saw top temperatures of 21. Now, as far as the outlook is concerned, we have got another day of very settled weather, a similar pattern to what we've had throughout much of this week. But we're then going to start to see some changes as it turns warmer, but potentially seeing some showers around as well. If we do get some downpours, they could be heavy and thundery, but in between any showers, it still, for some of us, will stay dry and bright. So for all of us, warmer, turning more humid through the weekend. The showers, we'll just need to keep an eye on the detailed forecast. Some of them potentially could be heavy and thundery, but other places will stay dry with some sunshine. That's your weather. Back to you.
Now, the first heat health alert of the year was issued by the Met Office today, with temperatures this weekend expected to reach around 29 degrees Celsius. That's 84 Fahrenheit, so really hot. Alex is at the Eden Project in Cornwall for our weather tonight. And Alex, it's looking beautiful where you are.
It is, Mary, but as you say, we have our first heat health alert of the year, and that is issued because we're expecting there to be some impacts on the health and social sector as we head through the coming days with this warm plume of air arriving, which we'll take a closer look at in just a second. But this heat health alert comes into effect at 9 o'clock on Friday morning all the way through to Monday, with those temperatures expected to be close to 30 degrees Celsius, particularly in the south. So this affects many southern counties of England in particular. So people that are over the age of 65, perhaps have respiratory problems, and also young babies could be affected by the heat. So go careful as we head through the coming days. Don't go out in the midday heat, and also try and keep yourselves hydrated. Let's take a look at where this is all coming from. And we've been tracking Storm Oscar, which started off in the Canaries earlier this week. That is heading towards us, so it's going to feed in that warm plume of air. Added in with that, the risk of some thundery downpours, so there could well be some more warnings to come in the coming days. And you can see temperatures are going to be warmer than the likes of Ibiza as we head through into the weekend. 29 possible, maybe 30 just north of London, I wouldn't be surprised. And also UV levels very high across much of the board, actually. So even if you're going to be out and about for short periods of time, make sure you do protect yourself. I hope everyone that's here inside the Eden Project this evening is protecting themselves. The sun still feels quite strong. They're inside to watch Lionel Richie, who's taking to the stage at 9 o'clock this evening. Right, let's take a look at the forecast then for the next few days. Well, with that warm plume of air heading our way for this weekend, let's start with the forecast for it. And it is actually going to be a little unstable. That air mass could be quite up and down. So thunderstorms could be on the cards, particularly in the south, and also some warm, muggy nights, again, which could be quite uncomfortable for sleeping. Well, Mary, by this time, usually it's packed in front of the stage, but because the weather is so nice, everyone is dotted around at the Eden Project. Hopefully, by the time Lionel comes on, there'll be a huge crowd for him to perform in front of.
Enjoy it, Alex. Thank you.